Hello, YouTubers. It is a beautiful night on Monday, February 9th, 2015, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the fun things that you can do when you're pagan. Now, one of the awesomest things you can do when you're pagan is be Sky Clad. As soon as it's warm enough to go outside, I like to, it was sort of spur of the moment, I just ran around my house naked, and I got a little dog and he followed me, and I kind of watch animals' mannerisms, and by doing that you can mimic an animal. Wolves being my spirit animal, I felt that it was appropriate to basically run around acting like a dog. And so I ran outside naked in the yard and peed on a few trees and laughed and panted and did a lot of things that would help me connect with nature. And my little dog Nikko, he'll be back in a second. I'm sure he's just marking some trees too. We've got a lot of trees to mark. Yeah, so the nice thing about being pagan is you don't even have to wear clothes. It's very minimalistic. And as you can see, I've lit some candles to represent the twin suns, which are it was a name revealed to me of deity. That would be like quasars. So you and another man, if you are bisexual, if you are straight, it would be representative of just one candle being a man and a woman. The center part is a chalice, which is back there, and I have explained in my other videos kind of what I do. I protect myself with sacred herbs, and I clear space, and I invite a very good energy in. Now, some of the things in nature you'll find are rivers, and if a lightning bolt strikes, then it'll start up a fire. So we're talking about very primal forces. I think some of the time when we get caught up in cities and the world, we start to forget about trees and plants, and that's why I've got like plants all over in my room. And even when you're in a city, you can fill it with plants, and then, you know, watch some National Geographic movies if you don't have access to like a dog or a cat, or go to a humane society and consider adopting one. But, you know, it's just wonderful to have that connection with nature and to learn things from animals. That's the funny thing, is like we get caught up and we think that since we're humans and our IQ is higher, we can create objects to assist us, rather, like firearms, buildings, cars. We think for some reason we are superior, and I would agree that in some ways we are, but in other ways we're using our intellect, and some of the animals who don't talk as much show us more. There's something to be said of just being silent. Just being silent and realizing that, like, that animals, with their mannerisms, with licking and running around playing, and they're so caught up in this almost childlike glee about the world. And once you tap into that pure love of, say, your dog or your cat, usually it's a dog, but cats too have a lot of love and a little bit more independence, I would say, where dogs are very dependent or codependent, and sometimes they have independence if they're the type of dog who always wants to escape the yard. But think about that. Think about what you can learn from animals. Think about when you're sky clad, running around and being the innate form of nature that you are. Find a place out in nature, someplace where it's legal, I suppose, and you know, and go skinny dipping in a lake and laugh and run around. Maybe bring one or two people with you who you feel are on the same page. Or just do it yourself. You know, usually I just skinny dipped by myself, but occasionally I'd have one or two people come with me, and I've never had a lover skinny dip with me, but you know, someday perhaps. But connect with nature, connect with that comfort that comes from deep down inside you, and I just wanted to say that, and a couple of things that I picked up from animals, that I picked up from my dog, Nikko. And one of those things is that you should be loving, you know. Don't antagonize people who are bigger than you, stronger than you, somebody who has more power in some way, you have to respect them. And Nikko's very good with that. He respects me. And of course, I feed him a lot of good food. And, you know, if you're a leader over somebody, you should feed them, because people at the end of the day, they need to eat. They need to be comfortable to be happy. So if you're a leader, you need to take care of the people underneath you. Another thing Nikko taught me is to cuddle up to the person you love. And he's very expressive with loving me. He'll like lick my face or my arm, and he's expressive in that way. And I think there's other things too. He gets up and he wants to play. He'll bring his toy to me. He'll be like, "Oh, throw this for me, throw this for me." And he gets so excited over the same simple thing over and over. But I think that's what's cool about dogs, is that simplicity. They enjoy the repetition of things that are just very simple pleasures: eating, sleeping a lot, playing, running around. Everything has a purpose, and there's glee to it. They don't just they don't just pee in a toilet. They go around marking trees so other intruders, other dogs, or other animals won't come into their territory. So I marked a few trees too. I was like, oh, that's a good idea, to keep other dogs out of our yard. And and they can just teach us things that are really awesome. And I'm getting all this liberty because my family's out of town, and I can just run around and be crazy. And I think that's part of life, run around and be crazy, be happy, enjoy life. And don't feel like you have to get so caught up in capitalism and all those things that are going on that make a lot of that technology run, and lose sight of the really primal things that make us human. And they'll tie you back to your roots, and you'll find such joy in being out in nature. And I leave that with you.